All right, guys, it is Wednesday, August the 5th. We do have 5 games on the first 5 board that we're going to want to get through with you here today, including Tampa at Colorado, kicking it off at Coors Field. We've got Washington in Philly trying to stop the bleeding here. You got the Mets and the Guardians back at it in Cleveland. St. Louis back at it in the Bronx after getting shut out last night. And we'll close it out with the little Padres and Diamondbacks in Phoenix. Hey, it is Joe Raineri, WagerTalk.com. Let's dive in to some of these games with a late afternoon start. Colorado handing the ball to Sagano at Coors Field. You got Tampa Bay opening up minus 150 in the first 5. And you've got 2 right-handers here listen, both ERAs are lying to you, and they're lying in the same direction because Sagano sitting at a 4.47 ERA. He has been a lot worse than that because the underlying numbers put him up in the 6s. And the reason is pretty simple. He doesn't miss bats. He gives up a ton of hard contact. And oh, yeah, doesn't strike out a ton of guys when he needs to. Now, he has strung together a couple of decent starts, I think. 3 earned over 12 innings in his last 2. But the last one came against a lineup that, quite honestly, can't hit water if they fill out of a boat. So I'm not calling it a trend here. And Tampa, well, Nick Martinez is no better. Only his 2.77 ERA makes it seem like he's the ace of the Rays. But he's not an ace because the deeper numbers tell you exactly where he should be, which is the mid to upper 4s. Now, he barely walks anybody, but he also doesn't miss bats. And hitters have been squaring him up a lot, especially last time out. He got hit around for 6 earned against the White Sox last time out. Now, when you talk about offenses, Colorado's been a top 10 offense in baseball for, I don't know, against right-handed pitching the last couple of weeks here, I think, if you go back, which makes sense. They've actually been pretty good, especially at home. They're averaging about 6.5 runs a game. Now, Tampa, they're not exactly cold either. Middle of the pack here against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. 4.5 runs a game. These two combined for 16 runs last night, 22 runs the night before that. Tampa has won the first 2 games of this series. The first 5 total opened up at 6.5. Does that tell you exactly what you need to know about these two here? Both starters have been worse than what their ERAs say. Great hitting environment, obviously, in Denver. Home lineup is mashing it against this split. I don't want to lay $150 through 5. I'll take the over and expect both of these pitchers to give up some runs in the first 5. All right, let's go to the next game here today. That's going to be Washington at Philly. And Philly opened up minus 165 in the first 5. They're going to send back the rookie Andrew Painter to the mound. Now, he's a guy that got called up, then he got sent down. Now he just got called back up. He's got 1 start under him since being called back up. 6.72 ERA, and well, that tells you exactly what the market thinks and feels about Washington right now because, again, they opened up a minus 165 favorite with this kind of gas can on the mound. Again, 6.72 is ugly. Underlying numbers say he's been a little bit better than that, but not much. Let's say mid-5s. He does have the opportunity. I think he's a great arm. I think he's got a big future, but while he does miss his fair share of bats, my goodness, does he allow a lot of traffic on the base pass all year long. I mean, a mid-5 starter is a guy that still can give up runs because he's going to give you the traffic. And Jake Irving going for Washington, he's not a lot better, although he did have his first start in a while coming off the IL last time out. He's around a mid-5s starter as well. Now, he too can miss some bats, but another guy walks way too many here. Last time out, 5 earned, 5 innings, but that's worse than the outing actually was because he did leave when the score was tied 3-3, and then the bullpen came in and allowed a couple of more runs in after the fact. So the price No, not a buck 65 here at all in the first five. Now, Washington's been a top five offense in baseball against right-handed pitching. Top five, or though they don't have any Woods anymore, he's on the IL. We already know Garcia Jr.'s been traded. That is why over the last 7 days, they've only averaged 2.3 runs a game. They've also lost 5 straight, including getting shut out last night, 5-0. So all of these things can be true at the same time. We got a lineup that has still enough power and enough hitting ability here against this split in order to score some runs. Yeah, and I got no problem doing that. And Philadelphia, listen, 5.7 runs a game over the last week, but against right-handed pitching, not exactly great. Bottom third in baseball. Now, Irvin is a righty. He's not a very good one, but he will put guys on base here. And Louis Ariz made a big difference for the Phillies last night. I think you're going to see that again here tonight. I don't know. Call me crazy. These two starting pitchers do not excite me. I think there are going to be runs. I think there are going to be runs early in this game. It's another first five over for me here. All right, now before we get to the rest of the games coming up here tonight, including Mets and Guardians, go ahead and hit that like button if you could. Smash that subscribe button. Become part of the WagerTalk TV family. We certainly appreciate you guys hanging with us here as we've got a couple of more first five games as we make it into the final 6 weeks of the regular season. And let's talk Mets and Guardians, because the Mets are sending Christian Scott to the mound, just under a 3 ERA, and it opened up about a pick'em here in the first five, minus 115, minus 120. So we're getting a sub-3 ERA with not a whole lot of respect here at the counter. Somebody doesn't think this number is real. And, well, shocker, they shouldn't, because his 2.99 ERA, you would think he's a number one or a number two arm on a staff, and he's not. The underlying numbers say he's mid to upper threes. He does strike out a ton of guys, but he also walks too many. He's a young arm here for the Mets, and that's where the problem comes in, because Cleveland's sending Tanner Bybee. And listen, same story there. 3.81 makes him look a little bit better than what the underlying metrics have done, but he has been around. He's been there and done this. He's always been a better pitcher at Progressive. He is really starting to figure it out as the season progresses, because he was not good early on. Both lineups have been terrible against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. The Mets, bottom three in baseball. Cleveland, not much better. Mets averaging about 2.5 runs a game over the last 7 days. Now, they did hang 6 on Cleveland last night, so I'm not going to pretend that that didn't happen, but one night doesn't erase a couple of weeks of just bad form. Again, another total here. First five total opens up at 4.5. I got two starters who are just a bit worse than what their numbers suggest, but I got two offenses that can't hit the split that they're facing right now anyway. I think that the under 4.5, I'm not going to push it here, but I think the under 4.5 is the way to go. I do trust these two pitchers a little bit more than I trust these two offenses, despite the trades that the Guardians have made. All right, we've got the Yankees at the Cardinals. Interesting one here, game 3. The Yankees opening as a minus 150 favorite behind Will Warren in the first 5. And over the last couple of weeks, they have been dead last in baseball against right-handed pitching. I mean, the Yankees have been horrible. And now they're going to be asked to go up and score some more runs. Now, they did last night, barely, 2-0, right? And Warren has been dealing. Last time out, 6 2/3, no runs, 7 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody, had 88 pitches. Yeah, I kind of like Will Warren, especially like Will Warren at home. He's got a 4.14 ERA on this season. He does miss a lot of bats. He does give up his fair share of home runs, so it all kind of washes out in the end. Now, Palante is going for St. Louis. He's got a 3.72 ERA, and pretty much exactly what he is, says the underlying metrics. Now, he doesn't miss a ton of bats, but he doesn't walk any, and he's a ground ball pitcher. In fact, his last couple of starts here has actually been pretty good here. He's actually increased his strikeouts a little bit. And the Yankees, who are only averaging 3 runs a game over the last week, I mean, it's not like they are crushing the ball. St. Louis, like we said, has not been crushing the ball either. They are below average against right-handed pitching. 3.5 runs a game over the last 7 days they've been averaging. They did get shut out last night in the Bronx. I mean, laying minus 150, that's a big number to back a lineup that really can't score. So I don't know that I'm going near the Yankees money line. But listen, the St. Louis lineup, quiet against an arm that misses bats in the first 5 window. Call me a crazy. I think the St. Louis team total under is not a bad look here through 5. It hit last night. I think it'll hit again. Game 1 was 10 home runs by both teams. I don't foresee that happening here. Anytime I can fade the Cardinals team total, especially early on, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So St. Louis Cardinals, first 5 team total under 1.5 for me in this one. All right, I got one more game I want to talk to you about. That's going to be San Diego taking on Arizona. Before we do, I want to let you know, guys, I've got 2 top plays, actually a third is going to be coming right now on my page at WagerTalk.com, wt.buzz/JR. Go get all 3 of them. One price right now, $29. It's a all-access package. It'll get you the 2 that are already locked in. It'll get you the 3rd that I'm about to put up for you. Go grab them all, one price. These are $25 a piece. Don't spend $25, $50, $75. One price, $29. Go get all 3 top plays right now over at my page at WagerTalk.com. All right, let's talk about this Padres and Arizona game because San Diego opened up minus 130 in the first 5. Why? Well, because they get their shiny new toy out. Casey Mize is on the mound, former Detroit Tiger. And listen, I think that price is lower than it should be, but I think it has to do with a reason that not what many people think. Now, Mize is 2.70, and that is pretty much what he is. The underlying metrics say he is. He's a frontline starter. It was him and Skubal. Same situation here with the Padre. He misses bats. He doesn't walk anybody. He has been fantastic this year. In fact, last time out, I think he went 6 innings, 1 run. Of course, the bullpen blew up for Detroit, but that's a different story. But he hasn't pitched in 11 days because don't forget, much like we watched with Skubal and company, you know, these guys that got pulled and haven't pitched for a little while, these guys are creatures of habit. And the fact is, once you take them out of that routine, and now all of a sudden 11 days, I'm expecting a little bit of rust here, maybe some commands issues. Why? Because, well, Arizona's a pretty good hitting team right now, and they're countering with their rookie, Mitch Bratt. 5.23. It is what he is. He's a rookie. The underlying numbers tell us that, yeah, this is exactly what he is. He does hand out far too many walks. He has walked more guys than strike out this year. 5 starts. It's early. It's ugly. I see him giving up some traffic here in the first 5 innings. I don't know. I mean, virtually minus 125, minus 130 right now for the Padres. Mize is obviously the better starter, but the Padres have been middle of the road against left-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. 4.5 runs a game. They did hang 9 on Arizona last night. But again, Arizona, it was kind of a disgusting performance on their part. But Arizona's been solid against right-handed pitching. Close to 5 runs a game here over the last week. We know that they're not going to be out in the desert sun here, so roof is going to be good to go. The humidor is going to be going. The gap between these 2 starters, I think, is night and day. Give me the over. Maybe lay a half a run with San Diego if you really like Mize. But I think runs, more than anything else, are coming in the first 5. So I would look at the first 5 over. And if you really want to get a decent price, maybe San Diego lay the half a run in the first 5, because I don't envision this being a crazy pitcher's battle. But I also don't think that Mize is going to dominate Arizona early on in this one here. They should be able to score enough, San Diego, to have a lead heading into the 6th inning. And there you got it, guys. 5 games here, 5 first 5 plays for you. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. Become part of the WagerTalk TV family. Again, I got those 3 best bets over on my page at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/JR. Go grab them. One price. You get all 3. $29. Get all 3 of those plays right now and get ready, because I think it's going to be a very interesting weekend coming up in Major League Baseball. We watched Skubal lose last night. We watched Freddie Peralta go to Colorado, get beat up a little bit. Be very careful sometimes what you wish for, at least early on. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities this weekend for us to gain a ton of value with some of these teams that kind of push the chips in, but I don't know that it's going to work out all that well right away. Either way, come back. Join me again tomorrow. We'll have another edition of First 5 ready for you, so enjoy the games. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's cash those tickets.